On this episode of New England Hockey Journal, we face off with Boxford, Mass. Native Chris Kreider, an NHL vet and a big part of the New York Rangers rebuild. We take a look at a hockey league that transported to a bubble to keep their players on the ice. We profile Sabres superstar Jack Eichel in our Homegrown series, brought to you by Rodman Ford. And Boston Pride head coach Paul Mara talks about the National Women's Hockey League's attempt to get in a full season. We're rolling out all 4 lines on this shift of New England Hockey Journal. Welcome to another exciting episode of New England Hockey Journal. I'm your host, Mike Motto. With all the cancellations, travel restrictions, and protocols in place this season, it's been a challenge to get to the hockey rink. But one league came up with a very unique and ambitious plan. The U.S. Premier Hockey League decided to move the entire program to a hub city. They went down to Tampa, Florida to lace them up. The league provided a safe and fun environment for everyone, and they completed a 20-game competitive schedule to boot. Joining us now to talk about the league's trek down south is Commissioner Bob Turow. So Bob, tell us about the massive undertaking to get USPHL teams down to Tampa.
Well, first of all, the idea to come to Tampa was so that our players could play hockey and do it in a safe manner, of course. There was 3 or 4 places that we looked, but eventually we settled in Florida. It's not a bubble, it's a hub, but the kids can only get in and out of the hub at the resort on buses when they go to the arenas. So once we decided on Florida, we got with our owners and we made sure that we financially could make everything work. And we started coming up with contracts for the resort, for busing, for arenas. The kids started booking flights. And on January the 3rd, everybody started to arrive.
Why did the league decide to do it?
Well, it's a pretty innovative league. I mean, over 7 years, it's become the biggest junior hockey league in America. And leagues like that don't become that so quickly because they stand still.
I have to ask, what's behind you?
So it's a big undertaking. I don't know what the exact number of games are, but there's 340 games, and it wrapped around 2 walls when we first started. I don't want to move my screen, but you get the picture. Everything is mapped out here. The buses are mapped out. The games are mapped out. The practices are mapped out. And then, of course, there's just a bunch of scribble back there when we get into hockey talk, and we don't need it anymore. There's open spots, so away we go. We start marking it up.
What were some of the challenges in creating a hub city?
So first and foremost, safety. We needed to get to a place where we could follow the rules, but also play in a safe manner. Saddlebrook Golf and Tennis Resort, we're isolated on the end of town. Their service has been over the top. There's golf, there's tennis, there's a gym here. We've set up a study hall. We've set up a video room. Like, this is a total development environment that we have here, not just for hockey, but for academics as well.
I understand that Phil Esposito is part of a broadcast team that called the Rockets Junior Bruins game.
It was really cool. First of all, the Lightning have been amazing hosts. They're just so involved in the community, the schools, the arenas, and they fulfill all their obligations.
What were the takeaways from the event, and why do you think it ended up being such a positive experience?
First of all, the event came off because of the leadership of our executive committee, our owners, and our past commissioner, Richard Gallant. A little idea just kind of grew and grew and grew, and everybody pitched in. It's a true team effort, and we worked round the clock. I don't know, this is like day 100, where it's 12 to 24 hours, and it's just not me, it's everybody, and that's how you pull it off.
What a great effort to pull this together. Thanks for your time, Bob, and good luck with the rest of the season.
Mike, I appreciate the time that you're providing here for the USPHL. It's a league that's on the move. It's a league that if players want to go to college and get an education, this is the place where you want to be. So keep an eye on the USPHL.
I want to invite all hockey players to check out the 6 Line. The 6 Line is an interactive coaching and consulting platform that provides personalized instruction to supplement your development. At the 6 Line, I'll identify areas for you to work on while improving your strengths. For more info, check us out at the6line.com. Up next on New England Hockey Journal, Boston Pride head coach Paul Mara dials in to talk about the NWHL's experiment up in Lake Placid and how the Pride season got cut short once again. Put down that remote, we're coming right back.
Looking for a better hockey training and development experience? Join the Boston Imperials, Massachusetts' fastest growing hockey program for boys and girls seeking to play college hockey. Register today.
With all the challenges facing hockey programs this season, the National Women's Hockey League decided that a controlled environment might be the best way to get a condensed season in this year. So the league traveled all the participating teams to Lake Placid, New York to try and crown a champion. Like last season, the Boston Pride was in a position to win a championship, and once again the pandemic got in the way of the Pride's chances. We welcome in Pride head coach Paul Mara to get his take on the team's unfinished business. Hey Paul, we go way back. So what were your thoughts on the decision to head up to Lake Placid and play a shortened season?
It was awesome, to be honest with you. When we first heard about it in October, I think myself, the whole staff, and all the players on our team were really, really excited to get up there. Lake Placid is such an awesome tradition of hockey and such an awesome town. And to play 10 games, 9 games actually in a 2-week span, we were really excited. And, we practiced so hard since, middle of September that we were eager, intense, ready to rock and roll. And then, things came to a screeching halt up there.
Going 1-3 to start. What do you think that was attributed to? And also, what turned it around? Like internally, what did you guys talk about to right the ship?
Yeah, I think we came in with such high confidence, and when Minnesota beat us that first game, it was like they won the Isabel Cup when they beat us. So we took that to heart. We watched that. We watched that celebration, and we showed video. We learned from it. We changed up a few things after that loss, our third loss to Connecticut, changed up the lines a little bit, and we got back to the way we wanted to play.
Sammy Davis, shot score! Sammy Davis makes it 3-0 to the Pride.
So when did the team get the word that the season was halted?
We beat Buffalo on a Monday night. We tested that Monday morning. We got our test results Tuesday night, and we had 3 positive tests. We had a league meeting at 12:45 on that Wednesday, and that's when they halted everything. Our team tested again. I think that number jumped from 3 to 6 positive tests. So, basically 36 hours before the NBC final or semifinal, we heard the news that it was going to get canceled. And we worked so hard since September to get this thing going, and to have that just taken away from you at that instant, and just, it was tough.
You talked about that disappointment of not being able to crown a champion this season. What's the future look like for women's pro hockey?
COVID's 2-0 versus the NWHL right now. Last year it shut us down 48 hours before the final, and then same thing this year. But I think we're looking to try and get this thing finalized. I don't think any of the players are satisfied with the way things ended. I don't think the leadership in the league is satisfied the way things ended, and I think they're going to do their best to get this thing settled.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time, Paul. Always a pleasure catching up and giving us some insight into the bubble. And best of luck finishing up this season and crowning a champion.
All right, Mutzi, appreciate having me. Thank you so much.
Up next, our New England Hockey Journal draft analyst, Jeff Cox, gives us his perspective on a couple of players to keep an eye on. Stay with us.
Nolan Hayes fires it home.
This segment of New England Hockey Journal is brought to you by Paul Vincent Hockey Camps. Summer registration is now open at their 4 convenient Massachusetts locations in Canton, Falmouth, Middleton, and Saugus.
The Stoughton Ice Center is a hockey training facility featuring 2 60 by 100 foot rinks, off-ice strength and conditioning, film room, synthetic ice shooting room, skate shop, cafe and pub, and is the official training center of the Crimson and Crimson Pride hockey clubs. At the Stoughton Ice Center, we help hockey players achieve their full potential. For more information, log on to StoughtonIceCenter.com. Stoughton Ice Center. Learn, train, play. We're here at the Stoughton Ice Center with Steve Doherty. So Steve, we're going to be taking a look at some drills today. What do you have in store for us?
So we have 3 drills based upon progression, and they're all solely based around the breakout, and just to get the players to read and react off of whether it's a forechecker or that back pressure.
All right, great. Let's take a look.
So what we're looking at for the first drill is just a simple breakout. regroup 2v2 with a back checker. And the details for that one, you'll notice the defenseman doing a quick little foot fake just to shake off the forechecker, buy some time and space. And the other one is for the center to do a couple of crossovers so they're receiving the puck full speed, being a lot harder to defend. And then the back checker's coming in just to apply some back pressure and just make the forwards move a little bit more.
Great, so a little deception with the retrieval, move the puck, regroup, and then have that back pressure so they're playing with some pace.
Yep, exactly.
So Steve, what are we gonna look at now?
All right, so for the second one, this one is more like man-to-man coverage. So this one is forcing the players to really just find that open ice, look around and just move their feet to receive a pass.
So just trying to find a lane to get open for the puck carrier?
Yes, exactly. And hopefully they're using some deception and make it a lot easier for themselves. A few things that we're looking for is just one, moving to the open ice, and the best way to get there is just doing a couple of crossovers. That way they're moving full speed and they're just a lot harder to defend.
Reacting to situations so the puck carrier has some deception to create time and space, and then the player that's trying to get open, trying to find those angles to get open.
Exactly, and you'll notice as well that they're not just skating in a straight line, they're zigzagging and moving all over the ice.
So we've done a couple drills, one retrieval, breakout, 2-on-1 with a back checker, another one with a retrieval with pressure, trying to find an angle to get open. What are we looking at now?
So now what we're looking at here is adding a little bit more movement from the defenseman. So he's coming up to the blue line, pivoting towards the middle, evading that pressure, and then hopefully completing that breakout pass.
So under pressure, a little bit more game-like. So the timing of it, so the forecheck is coming on, the retrieval, and then the pass is made, and then you're going into a 2-on-2.
Yes, exactly. And the same concept from before, you're gonna see the players just moving all over the ice and just making it hard for the defender. Then you're gonna notice the defender is gonna do a shoulder check and then a quick little foot fake, and hopefully that'll buy him some time and space.
Those are some great drills to create game-like situations.
Yes, and they're having fun, their feet are moving the entire time, and it also adds in some cardio.
That's great stuff, Steve. So for more information on the Stoughton Ice Center or Crimson Hockey, log on to crimsonhc.com. On the Zoom call with us now is New England Hockey Journal draft analyst Jeff Cox to talk prospects. Hey Jeff, let's discuss both the USPHL, who by the way took teams down to Florida to play, and the NCDC programs. What are your thoughts on those programs and how they develop their players?
Yeah, the USPHL NCDC deserves a lot of credit this year for creating that bubble. And because of that, they've really received some players that normally wouldn't be in that league, some younger players out of prep school that are generating a ton of interest, and it's raising their profile. And it's kind of prep school hockey's loss this year.
Let's talk about some players. Cam Lund, who's playing for the Boston Junior Bruins and a Northeastern commit. What are your thoughts on his game?
Lund's a really, really good, unique offensive player. He has a lot of length to his game, good size, good skater. Offensive instincts are really good, smart with the puck. As he develops, he'll have to get a little bit harder and play more in the middle of the ice, but he's a special player that I think will be a really good offensive player for Northeastern in the coming years.
Another Northeastern commit, Jackson Dorrington, also playing for the Junior Bruins.
Dorrington's a player that's been on the radar for a few years now. He's another player with good size, good stick, good skating. When he's on top of his game, you really notice him because he has the puck on his stick a lot. Even against much older players, he just has that kind of steadying, poised approach from the back end, and he can help move pucks north and promote possession for his teams. I think he's going to keep getting bigger. He shows some mean streak on the defensive side of the puck every once in a while, and he's a player like Lund who will generate a lot of NHL draft consideration next year.
What about Nolan Hayes, skating for the South Shore Kings?
He's an offensive defenseman, really slick with the puck. He's kind of a high-risk, high-reward type of player, I like to call it. He makes some real special plays in the back end, but then sometimes, like those players often do, he'll turn a puck over here or there. I think that's the one part of his game that he's got to shore up, but with his feet, his mobility, he should find a home in college hockey.
Well, as always, Jeff, thanks for your time and insight.
Thanks for having me, Mike. I appreciate it.
For more on emerging prospects, college recruits, and to get caught up on everything in the world of New England hockey, log on to hockeyjournal.com. Up next, we head down to the Big Apple to catch up with New York Rangers forward Chris Kreider. The former BC Eagle is in his 10th season with the club, and he continues to be a leader for the rebuilding Rangers. Prospects Pulse is presented by the Eastern Hockey League, the junior hockey leader in D2 and D3 commitments.
Are you an elite hockey player? check out Boston Hockey Academy, Greater Boston's only hockey academy, offering advanced Tier 1 AAA hockey in a real brick-and-mortar environment.
Steered back to the point, the Darling in, and all of a sudden from the shot, they score!
Once in a while, a great player comes along that totally changes the game. North Chelmsford, Mass. native Jack Eichel is one of those players. When Jack is on the ice, the pace of play shifts. Players that can't keep up get left behind. He is always a scoring threat. No question. Jack Eichel possesses next-level hockey IQ. Jack has dominated at every level he has played. After playing youth hockey with the Boston Junior Bruins, he quickly became a member of the U.S. national program, where his elite-level skills made him a scoring power center. His talents led him to Boston University, a program that was in rebuilding mode. That season, there was the rest of Hockey East, and then there was Jack Eichel. It was one season and done at BU for the uncontainable dynamic center. After winning the Hobie Baker Award and guiding the Terriers to the national championship game, Eichel was selected second overall in the 2015 entry-level draft by the Buffalo Sabres. Since his NHL debut, Eichel has continued to excel at hockey's highest level. Affectionately known as the Eichel Tower, Jack is this month's Rodman Ford Homegrown Player. Homegrown is brought to you by our friends at Rodman Ford. Come test drive any vehicle at Rodman Ford across from Gillette Stadium, and you'll be entered in to win a $500 gift card to the hockey retailer of your choice. Just tell them Mott sent you. Score every time with the Rodman hat trick on great service, great selection, and great price.
Fox with the puck. He shoots. They score! Chris Kreider with it.
Chris Kreider has had success everywhere he is suited up. His work ethic, determination, and winning attitude are just what the New York Rangers need as they continue to rebuild the franchise. A fellow BC alum, he won 2 national championships while playing at the Heights, and he joins us now on New England Hockey Journal. Hey Chris, can you talk to us about how the Rangers are progressing in the rebuild?
Yeah, I think we've kind of taken one step back to take a few forward. Big problem for us last year was how many chances we were giving up. And right now, that's probably been the best part of our game, is how we've been playing on the defensive side of the puck. Our penalty kill has been a great bright spot for us too, but now it's about doing the things well that we did so well last year, generating offense and having an effective power play that comes up with big goals at good times.
The Rangers seem like a good fit for you.
Yeah, I mean, I've got nothing but gratitude and appreciation for the New York Rangers. I'm just a kid from Boxford, dreamed of playing in the NHL. I mean, not too long ago, I was playing at Masconomet Regional High School, Division II public high school hockey, and dreams seemed a little bit far-fetched. So I get emotional thinking about the Rangers taking a chance on me and believing in me even when I probably didn't believe in myself.
Well, your workout regimen is second to none. Do you think that it has been a key to your success and longevity?
Yeah, it's probably something I lean on a little too much. Probably should have played a little more hockey growing up and gotten out of the weight room a little bit more, but definitely a key to my success looking back on it now, and I wouldn't have done it any other way.
Now, how did that jumping out of the pool come about?
Oh man, I think that happened when I was 16 or 17 years old. One of my buddies pulled up a video on YouTube, and we went out and tried it, and next thing you know, he posted it to YouTube. I catch a lot of grief about that. It comes up a little more than I would like. Yeah, I mean, not something that I would recommend doing, but I mean, all in good fun at the end of the day.
What's your advice to young players who want to be the best players they can be?
To work smart, not just hard. I mean, the number of resources that they have at their disposal now with the internet and YouTube and stuff. I mean, there's so many ways that they can tackle self-improvement. You gotta be kidding me.
So I heard some chewing, now some squeaking. So what do you got going on over there, Chris?
This is Chewbacca. We call him Chewie. He's gonna be north of 100 pounds. He's gonna be a big boy.
So cute. So now we're gonna play a little segment called This or That. So I'll ask you a question and you can pick. Home for the holidays, would it be New York or Boston?
Boston.
What would you rather lose on a breakaway, a tooth or an edge?
Tooth.
One language you would like to speak fluently besides English, Swedish or Russian?
Я могу говорить по-русски.
Impressive.
So, Swedish.
Pick a center to play with, Wayne Gretzky or Mario Lemieux.
Mika Zibanejad.
There you go. Your backyard BBQ, go cheeseburger or hot dog?
Both.
Summertime, are you a sneakers or a flip-flops guy?
Probably flip-flops.
Who's worse, New York drivers or Boston drivers?
It might as well be the same thing.
Would you rather block a shot from Zdeno Chara or take a punch in the jaw from Zdeno Chara?
Oof. Either way, I'm missing a lot of time. Probably block a shot.
If you could do one rep, what would it be? Bench press 450 or deadlift 650?
Deadlift 650.
Well, thanks for taking the time, Chris, to join us here on New England Hockey Journal. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thanks, Moss. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
One last note, we here at New England Hockey Journal have been thinking a lot about Bishop Feian High School hockey player AJ Quetta. AJ was severely injured in a high school hockey game, and support is going to be a critical component to his recovery. If you'd like to help, you can donate by supporting AJ's Army at aj10.org. We send along our thoughts and prayers and best wishes to AJ and his family for a speedy recovery. That's all the time we have for this edition of New England Hockey Journal. I'm your host, Mike Motto, reminding you to get out and play and make the most out of every shift you take. Thanks for watching.
Might have gotten something on it. The wraparound goes wide as well. Toronto putting good pressure here on Lovisa Salander. Brand, point. Going all the way across, and it's in! Boston, a power play goal! Putinha gets the opening goal just as she did on Saturday.
Putinha, 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 Putinha!